my appeal to the Prime Minister of India from the Swatantra Party and GITA TV. Mr. Prime Minister, your Agni Path, whatever you announced, that scheme or policy, is on fire now. The policy has got its fallacies and there are a lot of loopholes in it. See, I am an educationist. In our party manifesto, we have said that if we come to power, that we will make NCC, National Cadet Corps, as a compulsory program. You can start it from the high school itself, from the 8th standard. So from the 8th standard, there will be 4 years or 5 years, and then another 4 years in college. 9 years of training these children will get. So when they come out of the institutions, they'll be really disciplined and matured children. But unfortunately, not many children opt to join the NCC. In our college itself, out of a strength of 2,000 people, hardly 10-20 people join the NCC program. So instead of that, you should make this a compulsory program. I believe in 1962, when the China war took place, the then government made that all students should join the NCC program, and it was compulsory and a must. That is good, because when there is an emergency situation, if the country is facing a warlike situation, every citizen should be smart enough to handle the situation with the gun to fire the enemy. See, for example, in Ukraine now, many of the citizens started getting to be trained with how to handle the guns. So that is a good thing. So what we should do is, every family should contribute one child to the security of the country. That is to the army or navy or air force. But today, if you see, many of the children, see for example now, we are seeing in Bihar and in Bihar, UP, Haryana, Telangana and all that, these people who are burning the thing, it's not that they are all good. They just want a government job. So the army job is a cush job for some of them. Many of them like to serve in the army, and they come and they really sacrifice their lives. So because we have because of our soldiers only today we are sitting here safe. That I always acknowledge. See, in my college, we are giving NCC to the students, and many a time I am the one who is spending the money for all their trainings and all that. I don't charge the children first. Second thing is, about 4 years back, we got this NCC to our college, and I announced that whoever joins the armed forces, we will return their fees. Or whoever is we are reducing their fees. We are giving a concession in the fees. Even otherwise, for the last many years, we are giving the children of the army and the personnel and the navy, whichever thing, those children who come and study in our college, we give it absolutely free. The tuition fees, boarding, lodging. So why can't other institutions also do this? Mr. Modi, if you really want to do some good, don't announce programs in jiffy. See, please call some of the institution heads and educationists, and we also will have some suggestions to give. See, this program of recruiting the 17-and-a-half-year-olds is, first thing is, as per the law, it is wrong, because you are saying you should not recruit anybody to work below 18. So that is, you're contradicting your own law. But if you bring the NCC as a compulsory program at the school level, it's a high school level, so they get about 4 years training there, and again another 4 years at the college level, where they come out with a degree. And those who are good, who pass the tests of the armed forces, you recruit them. But here you're wasting your money. You're going to give 30,000 for these people, and they will be just happily cush thing, and then after that, after 4 years, you're sending out 30,000 people and only recruiting 10,000. This 30,000, if they don't get a job, you are saying that they will start some business, but it is not the right way. This is not way of encouraging. This is actually, you're teaching them to be lazy. What most of them will do, will go join some terrorist group. They will know how to handle the guns, and you would have spent the taxpayers' money on all to train up these young cadre. It is not a good policy. For that, you make NCC compulsory at the school and colleges level, and we are ready to support the government of India. And you please give us one retired or one in officer to train up the students for the NCC program. We are ready to spend some money for that. There is no problem about that. But instead of that, you are going to spend thousands of crores for the next 4 years by recruiting this 40,000 youngsters into the thing. This is not the right way of giving a job. Right way of giving a job is to develop your industries, to develop your farms, and there today nobody is coming to work in the industries or in the farmland. Everybody has become lazy because they get free money. You give these boys 30,000 rupees, are they worth the 30,000 rupees? For that, after the training and after the education, you recruit them, and if you are giving them 30,000, is not wrong. But to train them, if you are going to give 30,000, the institutions are ready to do that job. Why you should waste the taxpayers' money? Already my country is in an economic crisis, and is there any need for this policy? It's a flawed policy, just like how you implemented the demonetization program. Mr. Prime Minister, you think that you are always, whatever you are doing is right. That is not correct. We also have ideas. There are so many officers today, retired officers, who have got another view, who are not supporting this Agnipath or this Agniveer program. They are saying it's a flawed policy. Why don't you have the magnanimity or the humility to accept and to reform it right away? Or you could have had a discussion with the members of the parliament, but how many members of parliament are knowledgeable, I don't know, because most of the MPs are all rogues and crooks and culprits and smugglers who have got elected and who are sitting there. Even in the Rajya Sabha, not even 10% of them are having any caliber to be sitting there. In the olden days, people with some knowledge, people with some background, who are like an industrialist or an educationist, were the people who were selected to the Rajya Sabha, elected, nominated. But today, rogues who have money come and buy out the position in the Rajya Sabha. This itself is wrong. You know that what is happening. I don't have to tell. If you get angry with me, I am least bit worried, Mr. Prime Minister. I will talk up. My God says talk up whenever there is something going wrong. Is there any need now for all these youngsters to be hitting the road? I predicted this in 2016 itself, that the people of the country and the world will hit the road. There is going to be civil war everywhere. Very soon, that is the situation in the world in many countries. You politicians, you so-called great leaders, don't have any brains before implementing some policy. Why don't you have the humility to discuss and get ideas, inputs from others? You did the same thing with the farm laws in September. I remember it was 2020, if I'm not wrong. I stand corrected about the year, or 2019. And everybody opposed, but you just bulldozed it through and got it passed. And then later you had to take it back. You didn't have, it was a big slap on your policy. Why don't you have the humility, Mr. Prime Minister, to listen to everyone? Many people have good suggestions to give you. It is just that we cannot reach out to you or meet you. We don't want any favors from you, personal favors. But we are all patriots. We love our nation. This is a great nation. But this Agnipath is going to be a big flop, and you are only going to turn out terrorists in the form of these recruiters, in the form of these soldiers, young soldiers. It's not good for the healthy well-being of this country. The economy is already in a mess. You're going to further mess up the economy. You want to reduce the pension for soldiers. Why don't you do away with the pension for all parliamentarians, for all the MLAs, MPs, councillors, and the IAS and IPS? All of you are looting. You're all earning big money in the form of corruption money. So do away with that pension. Why do you want to touch the poor soldier's pension? Do away with all the officers' pension. And do away with all the salaries for all MLAs, MPs, and councillors. Whose money are you giving? Are you giving it from your grandfather's hard earned money? No. It is our taxpayers' money. And 70% of our our revenues are going only towards the payment of salaries, pension, and interest of loans. Only 30% is utilized for development. This itself should be first changed. The government servants are getting fat salaries and none of them are really doing their jobs, whether it is state governments or central government. 98% of them are all corrupt. First, cure this disease of corruption. It is a cancer for the society. When you don't do that, there is no point in you talking big. You said Swatch. You said cleaning the system. But your own people, your own party people are all highly corrupt. Your conscience knows, and I know, and the people know how corrupt you politicians are. Please, if you have a conscience, sit for 10 minutes and think about it. Your Baklamukhi will tell you what you are doing is wrong. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you from the Swatantra Party and GITA team.